Welcome to Soundbreaker. In today's episode, we're talking to Tom Norwood, who is the founder and CEO at Loop Fans. I like that. Loop Fans. It says it all actually. Tom, thanks for joining us today. If I'm correct, you're based out of the UK, correct?
I'm actually originally from Australia, but I'm
Oh,
currently based living in Ibiza in
in Ibiza.
Spain.
I got to
Mm.
get my geography a little bit better. Right. Okay. Ibiza is beautiful. I love it there. Sunshine, beaches, parties, great food. For
Beautiful.
our listen, Tom, for our listeners who might not be familiar with you, just a quick introduction about yourself and what do you do. And I can't wait to dive into it and talk about at Loop Fans.
Yeah, 100%. So I guess we founded Loop Fans about 2.5 years ago. Before that, I actually owned a live music venue in Australia for many years, for about 9 years, until kind of COVID came along and killed that, unfortunately. And then after that, I got heavily into the blockchain space. I'd been involved in kind of the software industry for many years before that. So that was kind of a natural transition. And then we started building sort of products for the crypto community for a couple of years until we realized that we love the technology, like blockchain technology, but we really wanted to use it for something outside of finance, which is what, the majority of kind of crypto products are designed for. So we decided to see if we could build a blockchain product for the music industry. We saw a lot of problems in that industry. Obviously, artists not generating enough revenue, not being able to connect directly with their fans through direct, streaming and social media platforms. So sort of a lot of issues, I guess, that could potentially be solved with blockchain. So that's how we got here.
So pretty much you integrated uh, where music and blockchain and fans and all of that together to come up with a new way of monetizing and getting fans more involved. I mean, they say basically fans are the new creators right now. All the new creators are the fans.
Yeah, exactly. I think I read a crazy statistic the other day that amongst Gen Z, something like 60% of fans are also, creators, that fans call themselves kind of like pro fans because they're taking content and remixing it or reusing it or doing something with it. So
Yeah.
that's really kind of it's so easy to make content these days that fans are, they don't want to be just be passive consumers anymore. They want to actually actively involved in the creation process.
Yes, the previous followers are the new creators right now, which it adds more to the pot. It gets it more, how should I say, more interesting.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. And what's your take on, the music business itself right now? How's it? We transitioning to too many different points right now in the music business. I don't want to say era because we haven't stepped to that, but everybody got their own. They say, hey, the new thing in the music business is all about the fans, fan engagement. Fans are the new creators, and they are becoming a major, major part of the music business because as you see some of the biggest social media platform, it's Facebook and what comes with it, Instagram and Reels and Shorts from Google and TikTok and all of that. uh, it's all based on previously were fans or followers, and they became some of the biggest creators, and a lot of big artists were born from there. And that's playing a very big, how should I say, playing a big part of in this business.
Yeah, totally. That's right. I think it's so important these days for an artist to be successful. I think they really need to bring their fans along the journey with them, right? They can't just kind of treat them as customers and keep them at arm's length. They really have to involve them, see how they can, make them feel rewarded, make them feel seen, be part of the creative process, be part of obviously the marketing process, because at the end of the day, fans can be like the biggest marketing team for a successful artist. And like what we're trying to do with blockchain technology, and I think this is where blockchain technology can really come in and change things, is it can actually make them part owners as well, right, of that creative project. And then if that sort of creative project or that artist does well, then they'll benefit sort of financially on the upside as well. So that I think is a real paradigm shift in changing fans from just sort of passive consumers to actually active owners or investors in a particular artist's career.
and contributors. Um, Tom, what's your take on Web3 in the music and entertainment business right now? It's playing a major role. You think it's, well, is it going to play a major role? Excuse me.
Yeah, well, I think, if you're talking about like Web3 encompass sort of encompassing AI technology as well as blockchain technology, which I think it's sort of part of the part of the new internet, I guess we can call it, then I think it's going to have a huge impact. I'm hoping it's going to be an impact for the good. No one really knows where AI technology is going. Even, open AI don't know where AI technology is going at the moment. It's a new frontier. So I'm really hoping it becomes like a tool for human creation and for humans to be able to flourish and for humans to be more productive and more creative and, I guess just more successful at doing what they do. So
Hmm.
that's kind of like the positive potential, right? The negative potential is everything just it gets created and generated by AI, and we don't kind of value humans anymore. But I can't see that happening because I think at the end of the day, what we as humans value most is actually other humans. It's one of the things that we genuinely care about. So I can't see a point where we just, everything is replaced by artificially generated content and images and people and etc.
Hmm. Interesting. Um, I know you're pretty excited about, or what excited you about OpenX AI.
Yeah, that's a project that I've just started working with actually. Nothing to do with the music industry, really. That's more on the open source side of AI. So I guess a lot of problems with kind of existing AI is that it's owned by major companies, right? Like there's sort of five major companies which are currently dominating the entire sort of AI
Correct.
space.
Amazon, Facebook, Google, and
Yeah,
OpenAI. Yeah.
OpenAI, exactly. So what OpenXAI is attempting to do is it's allowing or giving AI founders of AI startups the opportunity to deploy open source AI solutions. And there's a bunch like DeepSeek is an open source AI solution. Quen is another one. There's a bunch of really good open source AI solutions out there. So giving them the tools to deploy those and to use those open source models, which will then mean that, AI becomes kind of a distributed resource rather than being sort of centralized, in the same way that I guess social media and networks have become like really centralized over the last sort of 10 or 15 years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I want to dive into more to Loop fans. Really, what stage is it at right now, and how far, and what's next? I just let's dive into it. I mean, I'm really very intrigued about Loop fans.
Yeah, 100%. So our product's live. At the moment, we have a way for artists to come onto our platform. They can create their own website, so they can create their own. The best way to think about it, I think, is kind of like a Web3 enabled Shopify, but for artists. So they can come on, they can create their own websites, they can create their own digital store. But then they've got access to all of these Web3 tools. So, for example, they can launch NFT collections on that website. The NFTs can contain tracks, they can contain video content, they can contain downloadable files, access to merch, they can be connected to like vinyl records even, so they can add like a digital component attached to a physical object. They can be used for tickets, so kind of anything that artists want to do really. And then
Oh,
they can sell those, they can give them away, they can attach them, as I said, to vinyl or merch. So there's multiple ways that they can be used, and then we have a sort of fan CRM essentially where artists can come into their dashboard and see all of their fans, engage with their fans, segment them, etc., and market to them. And then on top of that, we have a way for artists to create a tokenized loyalty program. So what that means is artists can create tasks like go and follow me on Instagram or create some content. Speaking of user generated content, go and create some content on a reel and use this hashtag or go and do this or that. And then reward fans with tokens for doing different social tasks. And then the fans can use those tokens to purchase experiences from the artist, like getting on a guest list or getting a VIP upgrade or a meet and greet or, buying a ticket or some content or so it kind of becomes this like loyalty and reward program for artists and fans to, I guess, mutually benefit from each other.
Tom, how would independent artists, if they come into Loop fans, how would they monetize? Let's say, right now a lot of independent artists, they're saying, you know what, I don't want to go to the regular route. I'm not interested in to have my music in any DSPs and dictate when they pay me, would they not pay me if I have a certain amount of streams or not. As you see that kind of landscape of DSPs changing a lot, and especially affecting a lot of independent artists with a lot of newcomers to the music business, or the talent side of it, the creative side of it.
Hmm.
um, and a place like Lou fans kind of gives them another hope. It's like, hey, no, we're just entering a new era, and this is the new way, the kind of engagement. That's how you're going to make money. That's how you're going to get yourself out there. So how would the artist, the independent artists, find ways to monetize on their creative work?
Yeah, so they can come onto our platform, they can create a website for themselves. It takes 5 minutes, literally it's just they create a domain, put their brand up there.
They don't have to
Um,
be technically inclined, or
Not
they
at
know how to
all.
code. Amazing.
Yeah, as long as they know how to create an Instagram profile, they'll be able to create a website on our platform.
Okay.
Um, and then after that, they create their digital products. So essentially, they'll create a product and then they can add any number of benefits to that product. So they can set a price on the product, they can add tracks, they can add albums, they can add videos, they can add stems or downloadable files, tickets, like whatever they want to that product. And then it's ready to go. People can come onto their site, purchase their product, credit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay. It's like very easy for artists to sell direct to their fans.
And how would is it a membership, a subscription, or is it one-time fee to join Lufan as an artist? I want to come in and create an account at Lufan, or is it free for now?
At the moment, it's free. Yeah, they can come on
Wow,
and create it free. We'll probably start charging something super basic, like $3 a month or something, for an artist to have their website on our platform. And
wow.
then on top of that, we charge a small commission, so 8% on any sales that they do through the platform. So we're really trying to make it super reasonable and fair, obviously, and help artists to generate as much income as they can possibly can. We know they're usually not the richest people in the world. They're all dedicated to their art, so we need to make it accessible.
You know what you're doing? You're creating, basically saying, hey, are you a big artist, established artist, or an independent starting artist? This is the place for you. This is pretty much changing the paradigm of the whole music business, because that's a new way of monetization and interaction and being involved, whether you're a fan or an artist, both, and or creator, I should say. We shouldn't even use the word fan anymore. It's more creators or fans
Yeah.
slash creators. Yes. Have you seen or had any pushback or any kind of from the industry itself, as far as the DSPs or some major labels, like, hey, we don't need that. We can create something, but only we can if we can connect it to Spotify or some of the DSPs.
Yeah, look, I mean, we haven't really, I mean, we've talked to a few of the majors actually. They're all really interested in this technology. I mean, they're interested in Web3, they're interested, they see the future, even independent labels who we've talked to as well. At the end of the day, the labels don't love the DSPs, right? The labels just want to
Yeah.
generate revenue. I mean, and if we can provide a better way for them to generate revenue from their roster, then they're going to be happy. I mean, maybe Spotify's not going to be happy, or maybe Apple Music's not going to be happy. But at the end of the day, if we can help the artists and the labels, then that's our job.
Hmm. Interesting. And what's next for Loop fans?
I mean, this year's we've got a big year coming up. Actually, we've got a couple of interesting partnerships. We just started working with Blondish, who's a pretty big international DJ. She just got a residency at Pacha. She wants to launch a token later in the year, so hopefully we'll be in part of that process. Um, one of our partners has just started working with Fatboy Slim, who's another pretty big artist out of the UK. So hopefully we'll be able to do something there. There's a couple of festivals who we're talking to, a few agencies out of Ibiza who we're working with. So yeah, I mean, getting ourselves more and more established. We've been talking to Ninja Tune, the independent electronic label, about potentially doing something with them. So yeah, we're really just scaling up operations, trying to get as many artists on board the platform, as many labels onto the platform, managers who knowing about the platform, and yeah, like scaling our company.
Um, you're the CEO and founder of Loop Fans. Any other partners, or this is something that you bootstrapped and started it and say, I'm going to go for what I believe in, the right thing to do?
So there's four of us altogether, actually, four co-founders in total. Yeah, so we're the kind of core team, and then we have obviously, so like staff and a development team and whatnot as well.
Very interesting. Have you guys uh, raising any? There's any? Have you been raising funds or money, or this is all self-financed, bootstrapped?
Yeah, we raised 1.2 million a couple of years ago from the
Amazing.
from the crypto Web3 kind of industry. And now that was sort of like a pre-seed round. Now that our product's live and we're getting traction, we're actually doing a seed round as well. So we're hoping to close that off in the next month or two.
And what do you close it off on? What's the final number for that one?
So that one we're raising 1 million at a $7.5 million valuation.
Congratulations! You're already
Yeah.
valuation at 7.5. That's amazing. Really, Tom.
Yeah, well,
This is
in
amazing.
the blockchain space, I think maybe sometimes valuations are, are bigger. There's a tendency for them to be a bit higher than probably in the Web2 space for a number of reasons. One, because the potential is probably higher, and two, because the amount of money required to build blockchain technology is actually a lot more than to just build like standard Web2 kind of technology.
Um, not to get into it in specifics or names, the majority of your investors, just be in general, music people in the music business or totally left field outside of the music business.
Most of them are in the Web3 industry, to be honest, like the
More
crypto
in the tech,
blockchain industry,
uh-huh.
more on the tech side. But now we're actually starting to try
Attracting
to
more.
attract music investors because now we want to build out our network within the music industry. So
Mhm.
we're hoping to attract as many kind of, investors who already have strong networks within the music industry as possible.
Tom, you're an entrepreneur. You're a believer of following your dreams and obviously being innovative and making life better and easier and empowering artists, creative artists in the music industry. Any advice for anybody who, after they watch this interview or hear about Tom and Lou fans, say, you know what, I want to contribute something to the business. There's something that I see an issue, and I see something nobody's been tapping on it. I'm gonna do it.
That's a hard question, Bob, because I'll tell you what, it's not an easy road to tread sometimes, you've got to believe in something which doesn't exist for a long time, and you've got to try to make that thing real, right? Like you're fighting against reality here. Like it's not an easy task. And obviously building a tech startup it's a long, slow, expensive process as well. So um, but look, if I was to give any advice, I think the first one would be like validate your idea really well. Like, don't give up your job until you've validated your idea. And like, I've made this mistake a million times myself, is that I have a great idea. I think it's the best idea in the world. I go and build a product or a company around that idea. And then I realize that no one else is actually that interested in my idea, or not nearly as interested as I thought they would be in my idea. Right. So I think the best thing you can do is go and talk to your potential clients. Like go and find out, hey, do you guys also think this is a good idea? Is this solving a real problem? Would you pay for this solution? If I built it, would you pay for it? And don't just go and ask your friends and family as well, because of course they're going to say, yeah, that's great. That's a great idea, Tom, genius. Well, you've got to actually go and talk to people in the industry and find out if they do have the problem you think they have, and maybe think about what other problems they might have as well, right? That you don't even know about, and then how you can create a solution which really brings value to them. And then maybe go and like leave your job and build a company around, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you're doing it. You guys almost raised $2 million. Oh, it is 2 million, I think. Correct? It is you because you said 1.2 million the first, and then seven. So you once you get to the million, you'll be over 2 million in the past couple of years.
Once we get this round done, it'll be over 2 million
Oh,
exactly. But
amazing.
that's
Now,
over, that's over 4 years, so that hasn't been a quick process.
as you said, it's not easy. It's an expensive, slow process. But the vision is real. It was an idea and a vision, but then you made it reality. So it is real. It's
Now,
tangible
now,
now.
now it's real. Yeah, finally, it's become a thing, and we're getting artists on, and people are loving the product, and now years later, it's like it's bearing fruit. But you know,
Before we say goodbye to you, which is very interesting and intriguing conversation I'm having about Loop fans, anything that you'd like to see change in the music industry, and what's next, in your opinion, in the music industry? Two-part questions, with two parts.
yeah, look, I mean, obviously, I'd really like to see artists connecting more directly with their fans, right? Rather than just using streaming platforms. I think streaming platforms, they're great. Don't get me wrong. I love Spotify. I use it all the time, but I don't think at the end of the day that it's the best sort of platform to really connect artists with their most loyal super fans, let's call them. So I think, the more that can happen, the better. And then I think as well, the more that fans can benefit. So, if fans can be part of this sort of creative process, and if they can, use sort of NFTs, for example, or tokens to own a part of that artist's career, and then really benefit from that, and, have it kind of not just a single artist, but it really becomes a collective project then that everyone's involved in, everyone benefits from. I mean, I think that's a happy future for everyone, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, do appreciate it. I want to thank Tom Norwood from Loop Fans being on the show with us here in Soundbreaker. Tom, thanks again, sir. And for our followers out there and viewers and audience, please make sure to follow us on social and stay tuned to our next episode. Tom Norwood, thanks again, sir.
Thanks so much, Bob. It's been a real
My
pleasure.
pleasure. My pleasure. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to share the Soundbreaker podcast. And if you are joining us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.